How long have you been gunning for?
Mate, I'm 46.
So quite a while then?
Yeah.
Feliz Navidad.
Yes, right. I'll do that for the sound link. What's your name? Sam.
Sorry, what is your name?
My name's Richard. So I've met this lad Sam outside the cafe, and because I've just come back from my little, that little walking tour down by the beach and down into the chill zone. You're gonna have to. The noise levels here are quite high because it's Christmas Day. The club didn't open until 3:30, and I think it closes at 5:30. It's only open for like 2 hours or something. But everybody's piled in here, and we were lucky. We were like the first 3 in. So so this is Sam. How old are you, mate?
Sorry?
How old are you?
18.
18 years old, man. Bloody hell. I'm old enough to be yours.
Yeah.
Dad. Fuck.
I know it's fucked. I've been smoking for about 3.5 years though, so it's nothing new to me, but I think, because do you smoke with tobacco and things like that, or are you stopped now?
I smoke with tobacco because it's too expensive otherwise, and also, it keeps it moderate so you don't get baked. On the first, the first joint doesn't finish you off. If that's what because I got used to smoke since COVID and everything. Life for me has got completely different, completely changed. I used to be in the weed cap every day, 40 euros a day, every day, just smoking. I didn't smoke cigarettes, in joints, but only in joints. I didn't ever smoke a straight cigarette, I just smoke joints all the time. Now, it's different now because I can't afford it. But when I can, like today, it's Christmas Day, and
you've got to treat yourself, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. I've got a little bit, a couple of spare quid and thought, fuck it. And it's a nice place to come down in here and chill, and it's alright. It's a nice vibe down there in this club. This isn't the club that I used to go to all the time.
Alright.
The club I used to go to all the time in Las Americas.
Well, you work to live or living to work, you got to spend your money somewhere.
Yeah, I've not been able to work for 2.5 years.
Alright.
That's why I've got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Well, it's not why I've got a YouTube channel, but that's why I rely on my YouTube channel now, because because after Brexit and everything, and because I'm a conspiracy theorist who speaks out against the government online, and I've had 2 of my channels deleted because of it.
You just get your shit just.
Well, they basically made it so like they don't want me. They don't want me to be able to work. They want to make life difficult.
Yeah.
So they visas, and I've been here for 8 years, right? I've been here for 8 years, and for the first 6 years, I got really well established. I'm a musician. I was playing in the first couple of years. I was playing, and I played in probably 10 different venues here. But I ended up getting a venue where I was like, they wanted me to play every night. So I played 6 nights a week. And
that's got to put some fucking stress down on you.
No, mate.
Really?
Are you kidding me? Playing right. I played for 2 hours. 6 nights a week. That's 12 hours. a week, right? For €350.
Okay. I see.
I don't get that anymore. That's not after Brexit and everything. I lost my job because I wouldn't get a jab. I refused to get the jab, and basically as a result, in the end, I lost my job.
Oh, what? Did they need you to have the jab?
Well, no, they didn't need. They wanted me to. They wanted me to. So, and I, out of principle, because of research that I did, I refused. I said no, I'm not going to do it. It's not properly researched. It's potentially too dangerous. I'm not going to. And I didn't accept the statistics that they gave, so I didn't do it. And it's left me in the shit. But I'd rather be in the shit circumstantially than be in the shit like some of the people that have had the jab, you know?
Yeah, no, I've had it, I think about twice now, and it's fucked me. Both times, I've just been in bed, unable to do anything. And I had the first vaccine. I didn't look into any of that, but I just don't think it did anything. But I'm not too sure, other than the fact that it made them a fat ton of money by being able to give these people all of these, cures.
Think about it as well. It's not just that. Think about how many businesses closed down. There was a massive transfer of wealth. That's what happened in 2020, 2021, 22. A massive, huge transfer of wealth. So people in the middle classes wiped out. So they're now, going to food banks. And fucking people are really struggling, especially with all the energy, the cost of bills and everything. Everything's got so expensive in the last 3 years. The thing is, you're so young, and they're like 18, so you've got no idea what the world was like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, like when I was your age. Man.
Oh, completely different world.
Wow. Completely. They're teaching you different things at school. They've changed history, and they're teaching you a different history than what they taught us. Why would they do that? Why would they, history is history, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why did they change it? It's insane.
Have you noticed that there's everything over the last 100 years constantly changing, but if you look at classroom, it's the exact same thing 100 years ago. Sure, you got whiteboards and shit, but
This lad, man, what an observation to make.
100 years and they look exactly the fucking same.
What does that tell you? Do you know why the school system was introduced and made mandatory?
I don't want to be wrong, but is it something to do with Rothschild? They made I've looked at my stuff.
You guys are shit. You've been doing your research, man.
Everybody's had one night where they've just not been able to get off their phone. You end up looking up something you didn't plan on. But I think is it something to do with Rothschilds trying to make the educational system so that you're basically educated to become an employee? Because they don't want you to be
factory worker. They don't want independent thought.
Yeah.
They don't want critical independent thought, because that and they want people to just be robots. Just
fucking sheep.
Work, eat, sleep, repeat.
Yeah.
Basically. And that's exactly what school was, and that's what they did with it. Except the difference between private school and public school, because I went to private school first, from the age of 5.5 to 10. I was a private school, and they teach you differently in private school. Because it's like they teach. So I was on a road to become my parents wanted me to be a surgeon or a barrister or something like that. So I was, private school, then Eton or Cambridge or something like that, and then onto a serious profession. So those people are taught to think independently to a degree, and they are taught to think critically to a degree, more so than just in the normal public school where they just want factory workers.
And is it a completely different educational system, or do they still do it off that Rothschild?
It's not the same. Like the science in public school, the science is double science. You do double science, and in private school you do chemistry, physics, and biology, split into the separate, the separate sections, subjects, so you can go into more detail. And there's also less people in less children in the class, so there's more of a one-on-one opportunity between the lecturer and the pupil. So it's a more intensive education.
Yeah, I was the year where they didn't do the GCSEs, and so we got all of our shit just predicted.
It was 2020.
So yeah, I was
2020. That was your GCSE year.
So yeah, 2020 I was in year 10, and then we was meant to be doing, obviously, that period where we lost all of that time. We're meant to be learning how to take on our GCSEs and everything. That period of time, learnt nothing. Learnt not a single thing. Then I started bunning weed. In that period, that's when I started bunning. So, it kind of answers itself, but my predicted grades come out kind of on the line of where I would have wanted it to come out with anyways, because I passed my maths and my English and stuff. That's what you need. But I don't think for a second it got me my job now.
What job you got now?
So I'm a healthcare assistant. Alright. And it's driving around to different mobile trailers doing PET and CT scans and stuff. And so I assist with the patients before they're injected with radiation and stuff.
Alright.
But not for a second would I think I need English and a maths GCSE to be able to do that. You need to be able to understand English and shit like that. But I think them just scoring it with a number, it doesn't mean fuck. When you go into that place, just because you've got a 6 in food tech doesn't mean you're going to be able to stop that person from having a heart attack or giving them CPR. Shit like that. It's like
what's a 6? I don't.
So a 6 is a 6 would be like a B.
So they've changed it. They've changed it from A, B, C, D to now.
Oh yeah, you've got numbers in the pattern.
Yeah. I wonder if that's like the Americans. Americans have got their SATs and their SATs, and that's a score. So I wonder if that's what it is. Because I got 3 Bs, 3 Cs, and 3 Ds.
All right.
And the 3 Ds, the 2 of the Ds were deliberate. Yeah. I actually wanted to get ungraded. I was trying to get ungraded, and I'd done too much coursework. And it brought my grade up to a D, so...
Alright. How come you chose to do that then?
It was my art teacher and my graphic design teacher. It was art and graphic design. I was in a school that had the top marks for art and graphic design. And I had some good friends doing the class with me. And when it came around to the GCSEs, they didn't even get a chance to do them because the teacher didn't enter them into the exam. Didn't even enter them into the exam. And we asked why, and basically it was because their grade was predicted to be so low, it would have dragged the average grade of the school down, right? And so I said, oh right, really? And I was predicted A star in both subjects.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, if that's how you want to play it, fuck yeah. Because they're my friends. What can't they do the GCSEs? Screw you. Walked into the exams and just sat there, folded my arms, and just looked at the teacher for 2 hours. Like, what are you going to do? I ain't doing shit. Fuck you. And unfortunately, because I've done all the coursework, I've still got a grade.
Still passed. As a grade,
yeah, exactly. So,
fuck man, that's so corrupt though. And the shame is you cannot do a thing. You wouldn't. I mean, especially like going back as well. Like, because with things like bullying and stuff, I don't think they're as on top of it as they say they are. Because I had, because I'm half American, so I did have a slight accent at one point. Had no issues with it in primary school, and then in secondary school, straight away, literally the summer school, fucking cunts just coming up to me going like, oh no, you got American accent. Took the whole of year 7 for the teachers to realise, hang on a minute, maybe that kid isn't enjoying it every single time he comes up to us saying so and so's taking the piss out my accent. And I don't think that they give one shit about it, because I ended up leaving that school, but I was in that school for 4 years. First year spent bullying, then because I actually stood up for myself, and I mean now I would have socked the crap out of it, I just would have punched everyone, but then I didn't know what I was going to do, so I went to the teachers for support, which is what's like built around the entire time you're in that school. They try and teach you about how supportive their curriculum and their system is, and it's designed so that nobody slips through the cracks. Yet I'm sat there going home crying every time from school, where I'm meant to have this amazing day. You're obviously there for education and you're not there to mess about and shit. Okay, fair enough. But you're not there to have people come and just rip the piss out of the fact that you've got an accent. I've never been a big person about school. I think it's mainly just being told what to do. I'll do like what you've asked me to do, but I want to do it in my own time, if that makes sense. If you've come up to me and gone, oh, can you do that? I might have gone to go, do a task. So it works the same thing. If I've then been told to do it, it's like, hang on a minute, like let me fucking do what I want. Oh, sorry, I like that.
Yeah, well, it's like, okay, when do you need it done by? All right, no worries, leave me alone.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've got a similar sort of situation. Like when I left private school, and I went to public school and normal school, I spoke differently to everybody else. So when I left private school, I was somebody that spoke, actually the Queen's English properly enunciated. Hey, dude! Happy Christmas, man.
You're right. Merry Christmas.
Very well spoken, and of course I have my little, I was 10 years old, so I was a 10-year-old posh kid, and the lads that I was in school with weren't posh kids. They were solid, hard-working, lower class, lower middle class.
Yeah.
And this one lad would terrorise me. He was, smashed my favourite. I'd been bullied at private school because I wasn't as rich as the other kids, and I didn't actually speak the same way as they did. And then when I went to this normal school, I was bullied there for being posh and being rich. And like, I'd gone from being bullied for speaking differently and being poor to speaking differently and.
So when are you meant to get a break,
Well, so I basically, when I was 10 years old, mate, I beat the shit out of a kid that was bullying me. And then I beat the shit out of every kid that tried to bully me after that. And people stopped bullying me around year 8.
I think that's...
No, year 10. Year 10 was the last time I got bullied. And I think I put the kid in hospital. His mum was threatening to sue.
Shit. You can't give that as like advice, but that's the best thing you can do in my opinion. Like,
I don't think you can do with a bully. I'm sorry to all the teachers out there and to anybody that said no, violence is not the answer. With a bully at school, it absolutely is the answer. Like, knock them out, because bullies are bullies. The moment you fight back, you will become too much for them. They're not the big tough men that they think they are, or that they make themselves out to be. Although I did have one lad that was. There was one lad that was. One lad at school.
One's going to get you one day though, aren't they? Yeah.
The thing is, he only bullied me a couple of times, and then after that, he didn't actually bully me. It was just it was intimidation. Just his presence intimidated me so much, you know. So I was terrified around the guy because I knew I couldn't take him. That was the thing.
So were you worried there was going to be that day then, basically?
Yeah. And then years later, I saw him again, and he was like best mates, you know. It's like, and the lads that I had trouble with at school, years later.
I think people just mature, and you either start smoking and you mellow the fuck out, or people just kind of realise, like, hang on a minute, like, was that actually a need for that, you know?
I can't stop for a joint and I've got the Christmas dinner, I was on the having that wrong. See you again.
Take it easy. Merry Christmas, dude. Yeah, it's bullies suck, man. And do you know, like, this is the thing, right? So I'm 46, and I'm sat here watching the world and what's going on right now. When I was your age, the world looked like a completely, totally and utterly different than it was. Like, you've got no idea how different it was. When I was your age, mobile phones had only just come out to the public, really. Like, they'd only been for about a year available to people like me. Yeah, and so when I turned 18 and I got a mobile phone, it was an analog. It wasn't digital, because digital didn't exist. It was an analog mobile phone. I was paying for it and I couldn't get any signal anywhere for it. You didn't have text messages or anything like that. There was no internet really. You know, it was sort of starting. The internet was just sort of getting going. You had chat rooms, like Yahoo and AOL and stuff like that. But like, it was just a completely different world. No social media, nothing like that. There was a MySpace popped up, I think in the early 2000s. MySpace came out, and that was a lot for sort of artists and musicians to share their work. But the internet didn't kick off properly until probably, I reckon it was when smartphones were invented. When the iPhone was invented, the first smartphone that could access the internet, that's what really launched the internet into everybody's pocket. And then everybody became dependent on Google and started saying, you ask me a question, I don't know, Google it. Oh, hang on, I'll Google it.
See, there's the ease of it, and then there's kind of like, well, like for example, you could go down a street that you know, so you could go somewhere that you know, but if you chuck the sat-nav on, you might notice that you've got fucking no clue where you're driving unless you're relying on that sat-nav. If you've got that sat-nav off, you can go down that street and you'll just somehow get there because you just don't remember. So it's the same thing with that. So you've got to just...
That's an excellent point, right? Once, if I went somewhere, somebody was in the car and I said, can you take me so-and-so? Alright, yeah, direct me there. They direct me there, and then once I'd done that journey, it was locked in my mind. Once sat-nav became like available, you stop being aware. You're focused on the sat-nav the whole time, so it's like without the sat-nav you're lost. But sat-nav is fucking awesome because when you are lost you just go think, whereas before if you were lost that you were a bit more fucked to get a fucking map or rely on directions, and directions from people, the worst thing you could do is ask anybody for directions.
The phone keeps going. Oh, right, sorry. Right,
That's your mum, mate. Your mum.
Right.
Listen, it's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Yeah, and you. Right.
Might see you again.
See you later.
How long are you here for?
I'm here till the 30th, but I'm not too sure what the name is. I can't remember.
His mum was ordered him home. So, that's Sam, 18 years old, man. He's just got a message from his mum and he's got to go home. He's been out too long. I think he's in trouble. But that was awesome.